Welcome to Hilton Head Island. 42 square miles of beautifully developed vacation land with over 200 restaurants, 300 tennis courts, 20 championship golf courses, and 12 miles of beaches. Due to the increased concentration of people on the island, the demands upon the Broad Creek Public Service District facility increased from 1 million to over 2 million gallons of wastewater per day that had to be treated. The sludge produced at the facility doubled. The cost of disposing of this sludge at a landfill was prohibitive, and the building of an incineration plant to handle this problem was out of the question. The construction of a composting facility was the best answer, and the Fairfield dynatherm was the best method. The sludge is first processed by adding polymer. Then it is piped to the belt press where it is dewatered. This conveyor transports the sludge to the storage area. The capacity of the Hilton Head dynatherm is 1.8 dry tons or 8 wet tons per day, based on a sludge dryness of 18 to 20%. Materials are brought to the mixing area by the front-end loader. The first material added to the mix is recycled material brought directly from the output of the dynatherm. Next, amendment is added. In this case, sawdust is used. Then dewatered sludge is added. After a thorough blending in the mixer, a screw conveyor transports the mix to a bucket elevator, where it is raised to the top of the dynatherm reactor. The material is distributed across the width of the reactor by a screw conveyor. Here, in an internal view, we see a floor consisting of narrow steel panels that run the length of the dynatherm. Air is introduced under pressure and is forced up between the panels and through the mass, accelerating the digestion of the material. The steel panels move independently to the rear, but forward in unison, advancing the mass the length of the dynatherm in 7 days. When the material reaches the end of the dynatherm reactor, it is reblended and redistributed as it enters the second reactor to ensure proper consistency and porosity. The material travels the length of the second reactor in an additional 7 days. Throughout this time, the airflow is constantly monitored and controlled to ensure the proper reaction in the dynatherm until the material is discharged. The material is now ready for an additional curing, after which it is screened and marketed. The Fairfield dynatherm system has been trouble-free. It has been easy to maintain because of its straightforward design, using standard components. It is easy to operate. A new operator can be trained in a day. From this aerial view, you can see condominiums on one side of the plant and a motel and homes on the other. Despite their proximity, there have been no complaints about odor from the public. The Fairfield dynatherm not only fits within the operating budget of the Broad Creek plant, but it generates revenue. They were able to take in sewage from private haulers from septic tanks and portable toilets, and that, combined with the sale of the compost, meant they received 100% of their operating costs in the first year. That includes everything in the budget: maintenance, personnel, depreciation, and electricity. There is no problem in selling the compost. In fact, there is a waiting list of customers. Compost straight out of the dynatherm is good for perennials. By special blending, they expanded their market. For example, compost mixed with sand becomes a good top dressing for golf courses. Mixed with wood chips, the compost becomes a good bedding for azaleas. Additional uses are being developed by agricultural experts at Clemson University. Even with the extremely rigid land use regulations on Hilton Head Island, the Broad Creek plant management is considering expansion. Dynatherm units can be placed side by side, or they are stackable. A good solution to a tough problem. The Fairfield dynatherm system. Easy to build, operate, and maintain, and it pays for itself. In an age of increasing environmental concerns, rising costs, and restricted land use, the Fairfield Dynatherm system turns a difficult problem into a money-making product and is expandable to meet future needs.